Hello everyone, what's going on? This is Arrow7 here. I'm bringing you a new series, my top 5 games of every month starting by April 2013. My number 5 for April 2013 is Sacred Citadel. Sacred Citadel is a side-scrolling action brawler video game in the Sacred series. It's released on April 27th, 2013 as a prequel to the upcoming Sacred 3. It was developed by Southend Interactive and published by Deep Silver for Xbox, PlayStation 3 and Microsoft Windows. The story is the basic one as far as the fantasy tales are concerned. The world of Ancaria has been enslaved and it's under attack by nasty grimogs and other beasts. 4 adventurers has taken it upon themselves to end the madness and live their quiet day of drinking of the local pub to whoop up some bad guys. Sacred Citadel offers a few simple ways to beat down enemies. The combos, juggle tricks and charge attacks are all common to most brawlers and the moves are easy to pull off. For the most part, enemies enter the screen in typical fashion from either the left or the right. The goal is to hurt them all to one side of the screen and just smash the simple combos repeatedly until they are all dead. The game mostly reminds of Shank, almost the same graphic and gameplay, but still unique on her own way. I did not record too much of Sacred Citadel, so I'm gonna cut here since I don't really know every detail about the game. Overall it's good and fun, and since there are not many releases this month, this must be one of my top 5 games for this month.
You look tougher than the rest. I bet you burn too, though.
On my list, place 4 will take Dead Island Riptide. Dead Island Riptide is the second installment of the Dead Island franchise, where the undead nightmare starts all over again, leaving hope drowning in the rising tides. Dead Island Riptide is an action role-playing survival horror game developed by Techland and published by Deep Silver, released in April 2013 for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. The game is a sequel to 2011's Dead Island, with a plot continuation as the 5 survivors arrive on another island in the Benue archipelago, which has also been overrun by zombies. For those who are interested more in story, Riptide takes place immediately after the ending of Dead Island, with the 4 immune survivors: ex-American football player Logan Carter, rapper Sam B, Hong Kong police officer Xan Mei, and Australian bodyguard Purna, landing on an aircraft carrier after escaping from the prison island. They are immediately taken into custody by the Colonel Sam Hardy and Frank Serpo, a civilian VIP. In the ship's brig, they meet another immune survivor, Soldier John Morgan, who claims that Serpo stopped the military's evacuation. You will also be able to take him as main character through game, which I did in my walkthrough. As in first game, you will have to do beside main quest and a lot of side quests, which are going to lead you to new weapons and new items. You will also have to search for lost families, clear small villages or closed areas, and save a lot of people which are trapped on cars, balcons and other places. Only and probably most important thing is that game is 90% at least identical as first one. Only changes couple new weapons, ability to drive and take boats through giant river, and couple new zombies. Basically, we're watching in one huge ass standalone DLC. I had fun with Dead Island in single player and co-op mode, and I did repeat same experience with Riptide. I just feel that they should improve or even completely change or add new stuff and new mechanics. Number 3 on my list for April 2013 is Don't Starve. Don't Starve is open world survival video game developed by Clay Entertainment. The game was released on 23rd April 2013. Gameplay: Don't Starve is played from isometric viewpoint, with the ability to zoom and rotate the camera, which is exactly what gives charm to this game. The game's goal is surviving for the longest time, while avoiding starvation, insanity and hostile enemies. The player can collect and craft variety of tools and items as well as build various structures to aid in surviving. An adventure mode is also included in the game, which presents increasingly difficult levels for the player to complete. If you're searching for a game to compare Don't Starve, they are definitely Minecraft and Terraria. Even though idea is kinda similar, game is unique and much more challenging in some aspects. I didn't do any video of this game, but I will do couple hour streams, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. Since I was a huge fan of Minecraft, this game takes place in my top list for April 2013. Game number 2 in my top 5 list for April 2013 is Mars Warlogs. Mars Warlogs is a cyberpunk role-playing video game developed by Spiders and published by Focus Home Interactive. This game is set on Mars and was released on April 26, 2013. The game takes you to the Red Planet over a century after the catastrophe that threw the planet and its colonists into chaos. Water has become the most precious resource on the arid planet, with a few companies fighting a war for its control. In the middle of this struggle, players take on the role of Roy Temperance, a renegade with multiple talents, and plunge into a thrilling cyberpunk RPG on the Red Planet. You will develop Roy and his combat style by choosing among dozens of skills and perks, and fight for his life in the dynamic, real-time combat against the fearsome creatures of Mars. The combat phases are very dynamic no matter your level of implication during the quests. More confrontations are brief. You move from an enemy to another, striking and throwing spells one after the other. Combat against the bosses lasts longer because they require difficult tactics to beat them. If you can also modify your environment by breaking part of a roof or moving metal plates to use lights as a weapon, the fights gain the more strategic dimension. All enemies, if wanted enough, can be finished off in spectacular ways. By your side you will meet at the beginning Innocence, young boy who somehow managed to get prisoned in this prison. You will mostly use him as a diversion since he can't really do good damage and he will die a lot, but after every fight, when you kill him all, he will revive. Menu through the game is very well optimized, with the ability to have full transparent map on your screen while you're trying to figure out how to get to the objective. That's gonna be really handy. It's kinda underrated, but again at some time it's rushed as well. Anyways, I'm surprised with this third-person RPG and it's definitely in my top 5 for April 2013. I'm currently doing walkthrough of this game, so feel free to check that one. And finally, first place for my top 5 April 2013 is gonna be Papo and Yo. Papo and Yo is actually a fantasy adventure video game released on August 14, 2012 on the PlayStation 3 via the PlayStation Network PSN, and since April 18 this year is on PC through Steam as well. The game takes place somewhere far at the Brazilian favela, which the player has to navigate through game. The player takes on the role of Kiko, however, a young kid who has run away from his home to escape his abusive and alcoholic father. Kiko has the ability to turn the environment into a magical and dreamlike world. For example, tagging a glowing thread can pull a stairway out of the side of a building. Lifting a cardboard box can cause an entire building to come unmoored from its foundations. Sharks can sprout legs and scuttle into place to provide a handy bridge, and so on and so on. Developers simply made perfect transition from real to fantasy world. One of the key elements of the game is Monster, a giant that Kiko discovers while navigating through the slums. Monster at first appears to be very kind and helpful. He can be made to hold down pressure plates, and his belly can be used as a super trampoline to reach rooftops. Monster has an addiction of eating frogs, and if he eats one, he becomes a fiery, raging beast that will damage anything around him, even Kiko if he cannot get away quickly enough. The player can use a fruit to calm him. After finishing game, you should understand the whole game and realize how are most common bad habits projected in game like this. It's a perfect game for kids, but also very serious in terms of story behind, so it's recommended for everyone. Definitely one of my best games this year. Games worth mentioning. Cities in Motion 2 is the sequel to the popular mass transit simulation game Cities in Motion. Build, manage and lead your transportation network to provide cities with their ever-changing needs. Cities in Motion 2 introduced new features including multiplayer game modes, day and night cycles, timetables and dynamic cities. Star Trek is a third-person action-adventure video game developed by Digital Extremes and co-published by Namco Bandai Games and Paramount Pictures in association with KO Paper Product, Bad Robot Interactive and CBS Studio for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 and Microsoft Windows. I tried, but didn't seem too addictive. Besides that, I stumbled mostly on negative votes and ratings from regular games, even Star Trek fans. I guess it's worth mentioning since there are not a lot of games this month.